Okay, here we are. Today's project is to get this dirt inside those 4 rooms. This way I can start soaking. This thing can start breaking up, settling, and then once it's somewhat level, put that sand on top of it. Let it sit there for a few weeks. Water it every now and then and see about putting some concrete into the floor. Now, one of the other things that I need to figure out is when this concrete goes in there, I need to figure out how I can power wash the 3 rooms and put a drain to get all that stuff out of there. I just haven't decided which way that floor is going to slant so that I can take all the poop and whatever else is in there, feathers, out of there and be able to use it in the garden. Now, I thought about bringing it into a little square rectangular holding tank and then letting it settle, pump it into the garden once it settles, and then take all the solid material and put it into the compost. But I'm going to have to think about this, and then when it's time to do it, I'll have an answer. Whether it's right or wrong, I will have an answer according to me. And then in the long run, I'll find out if it works or not. All right, let's see what happens today. Okay, so what they're doing here is they're using a wheelbarrow, and they've got a fertilizer sack that was inserted into bamboo poles, and then clumps of dirt are put on there and carried like a stretcher. Yeah, and the other thing is some are carried by hand. And then of course you've got the wheelbarrow. Now the deal is they somewhat level that in there. They don't have to break up the clumps because it is a lot of clumps. This dirt has a lot of clay, so it would just take a tremendous amount of work to break all this stuff down. So what I will do is once they put it all in there and somewhat level and overfill it a little bit, I will soak, and that will break those clumps down. And then once everything kind of falls into place, I'll put that sand on top, and then I will water and let everything settle. Yeah, and then once it's wet, the other thing is you can walk on it, and those clumps will break down and settle, so it'll be okay. One way or another, it'll be done. Okay, here's something new. They're going to probably get on top of that scaffolding there and then throw it over the top, I guess. I don't know. Find out in a minute. I don't care what they do as long as they don't break anything and get all the walls dirty and stuff, because then I will have to power wash them, and then I have to wait till that wall's dry before I can paint. So we'll go from there, see what happens. One of the conversations we had the other day is they said, why didn't you tell us that dirt was going in there before we did all this? And the answer was, I did many times. Just like I asked you to use up the sand inside the rooms so it would be gone and I wouldn't have to move it. They ignored that, used the sand outside, and all the sand inside I had to move. And that is exactly the same reason why they didn't know about the dirt, because they didn't listen, or they just simply ignored it after the many times that I told them so. I don't know what to tell you. And they kind of snickered because they knew. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, here we are. They build a ramp here, and they're bringing the dirt in here. It's actually moving pretty fast. This room is coming along pretty quick. Yeah. So before lunch, they should have 2 done, and the other 2 this afternoon, maybe. And there it is. Of course, time will tell. I can tell you whatever, and at the end of the day, the reality speaks for itself. No problem. Okay, so let's see what happens by this evening. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours since they started, and they've got half of this moved and half of this moved. So it's going along pretty quick. So hopefully by the end of this evening they will have all 3 loads of dirt moved in there. Whether it does all 4 rooms or not makes no difference. That's all the dirt there is. If we need some more, then it's gonna have to be ordered and put in there later. Okay, so they finished this front room here. I have not gone to see it, but they already filling that back room there. Now, if you look at this pile, it's almost gone. That's 1 truckload. This one here is another truckload, and that's way better than half of it gone. And then this large pile there is the 3rd truck. So there was 3 truckloads, and I would say about 1.5 is gone. So they're about halfway through the dirt. So we'll see what happens. This is the room that will eventually be the feed room, and it has a lot of dirt. We're going to have to wet it down, level it out, let it settle. So we'll see how much more it needs, or if this is going to be adequate. This room over here, still lacking a lot. Okay, and they're starting to do this thing here. This one here doesn't need a lot. This is higher than those other 2 rooms. As you can see on this one here, that cement strip there is a lot closer to the ground than it was in those other 2 rooms. So it should be a little faster. Once those 3 truckloads get put in here, we'll see where it sits. Just an observation. I know this is 1 guy loading the wheelbarrow, and over here you have 2 with that little stretcher thing. But they've already filled up 1 room and started on a 2nd one, while the wheelbarrow has not finished 1 room. That thing is pretty efficient. It's pretty quick. When they told me they were going to use that thing, I said, well, that's a lot of work for very little accomplished, but it's the other way around. 1 guy drags the stuff on there and the other has a shovel. Now, if there's a lot of clumps, one guy puts the clumps in there and the other guy puts the loose dirt on there. But either way, it gets loaded up and the stuff gets moved pretty quick. Whereas over here, you have to load the clumps and then do the shovel. One guy doing it. Then you have to actually push that wheelbarrow up and down the ramps. So it's a lot slower than that stretcher. I'm really surprised and amazed. Wow. And they can carry quite a bit with that thing. And of course they have no problem with obstacles because all they do is just hop over them. Wow. And if you look at that, that's a lot less dirt than that other thing. Plus, you have to get a running start at this thing and hope you don't miss the little ramp going up. Wow, that's pretty amazing. And there goes the wheelbarrow. Run! And then he's got another ramp over there. He's got to go. He's got a lot of ramps to go up and down. Okay, here it is. It's 1 o'clock after lunch. This is all the dirt that's left here. So basically it's a little bit under 1 truckload. This dirt that was here is gone, and the one over here is gone. So about 1 truckload, a little bit under 1 truckload. So this should be done within the next couple of hours, I would say. We'll see. This thing is coming along. This thing started here. This is here. It's a matter of leveling, breaking up, whatever. It'll go. Okay, there's the end of it. They're getting the last of it, and it'll be done. Well, the dirt will be in there. Let me go check on the rooms. Okay, so the supply room has enough dirt. The rabbit room has enough dirt. Half of the chicken coop almost has enough dirt. And this will need more dirt, but that's okay. Gonna have to get some more, put it in there. Okay. And then it's a matter of soaking everything.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. It's a matter of soaking everything and compacting and leveling. All right. Here we are. Done for the day. Okay, so there it is. 3 truckloads of dirt into the rooms. It did 3.5 rooms, so at a later time I'm going to have to come up with more dirt for one of the rooms. But no big hurry. Tomorrow the sheet metal guy said that they would be here before 10, so that's good. Earlier is better, but nothing happens early here. So anyway, for today, this dirt project is done. Now it's a matter of putting the roof on there once the roof is in there, then I can go in there in the shade and get all that big old clumps wet, break them down, level that dirt, compact it, and then take that sand that I have in there and put that over the dirt, so that when you go in there you're not walking in mud. And then just wait a few weeks and let that compact down, water it every so often, and eventually we'll do the cement in there. But we'll see. Nothing is for certain right now. We're just gonna have to wait and see. So the next project will be putting in the cement there. We have chicken boxes, rabbit cages and stuff to make, some shelves to put in some rice and corn and whatever else we get to feed these chickens and rabbits. And then after all that, somewhere in there, we'll see about doing this vegetable thing in here. But when that time comes, I'll let you guys know. All right.
Thanks for watching.
ขอบคุณเจ้า
See you next time.
แล้วปะกันแฮมไมนะเจ้า
See you.
บ๊ายบาย